Hi, so I'm Niall Sloan. I've been a member of the club for just over 30 years now. So the club actually was established in 1975. So we're coming up to our 50th anniversary next year, which hopefully will be a big bash and lots of celebrations. We have approximately 60 adult members, and just under half of those are registered team players. We now have a club night first Monday of every month. We have introduced recently a beginners and improvers session because we found that lots of the casual playing members were frightened off by the A and B team players coming along to club night, and whilst they were very happy to muck in and play with them, they felt a little bit out of their depth, so stopped coming. So we introduced these beginners and improvers sessions, which are on the third Monday of the month, and so far we've done 3 or 4 of them, and they're really well attended, which is great. The juniors meet every Saturday, and we went through a reasonably fallow period with only sort of between 4 and 6 juniors. But again, more people getting involved, and we're up to 16 or 17 junior members now, which is fantastic. We're not sure of the exact opening date, but it was constructed in 1975, and the first chairman's tenure started officially in 1976. There were a group of 4 locals who were enthusiastic about the game of squash, got together, not quite sure where the funding came from. The 4 of them got together, oversaw the construction of the initial 2 courts, courts number 1 and 2, and the club took off and became a real success. So much so that there were insufficient courts available at the peak times of the day. And actually a tobacco company, who shall remain nameless for advertising purposes, volunteered if they could name the court after them to build a 3rd court for us. Hence we have courts 1, 2 and the Hamlet. Certainly since I've been involved in the last 30 years, our biggest challenge was definitely when the roof failed back in 2015, 2016 winter. Water coming through everywhere, no courts were playable. We were at our lowest membership number for years, so no cash in the club at all. And we came up with an innovative solution, which was forward selling long-term memberships. And we had 2 sides, an A and a B team in those days, and all of those team players paid for a 10-year membership, and we gave them a very slight discount for paying up front. But then also lots of the older, longer term members who'd had 30 years plus playing in the club said, well, it's not fair, you guys suffer the burden of all of that, so they actually made donations to the club as well. And we ended up not only being able to get a brand new roof on, but we also generated enough through a couple of little fundraising activities and things to completely hack off, replaster the courts and put LED lighting in as well.
Okay, so hi, my name's Stacey Goodin. I live in Roos and I've been a member of Cowbridge Squash Club for the past 5-6 years. Playing for Wales at junior, senior and masters level is something I'm very proud of. I'd say 2 of my biggest achievements would be being a member of the ladies European senior team when we came 2nd and came away with a silver medal, and most recently becoming the British over 35s masters champion. So we were playing at Barry Leisure Centre, and as a team we were looking to relocate, and Cowbridge welcomed us in. I work just outside of Cowbridge, so it's really handy for me. Everyone gets their own set of keys, so you can play 24/7. So it was a no-brainer really. So managing my time is actually quite tough, trying to work full-time, help at the club, training, competing and trying to be a mum. I have 2 very busy kids, so trying to find time to train is difficult, but I think for me planning ahead and being organised is key. But there's no better feeling than having a great game or a hard training session, so it's definitely something that I will make time for. I think treat training and competitions the same way. Give it your all, try your best, listen to everyone's advice and most importantly have fun.
so I'm Dan Patterson. I moved down here from Newcastle about 6 years ago. Ended up getting involved with the club much more than I thought I ever would do, because it was really friendly, really welcoming. So it was great for me as a new person coming around here. So yeah, got to know loads of people. Ended up playing for the teams. Got well into it. Probably slightly addicted to it. And so after COVID, I was kind of asked the guys if we could get club night going again, because there wasn't really much going on after that. So I asked the committee if I could just start club night again, and they said, oh yeah, help yourself. So we did that, and then everybody was really pleased that was back. So then I thought, oh, why don't we do a box league? So we started the box league, and then it's just kind of gone from there really, and I organised like little one-off tournaments, that kind of thing. I think it comes down to people. The first thing is the people, and then I think once you've got the ball rolling on something and there's a little bit of momentum, then everybody else starts going, oh well, I'll help with this and I'll help with that, and the momentum builds. And I think that's all we've done really, because after COVID it was probably a little bit quiet around the club, and everybody was coming and playing and doing the usual thing, but there wasn't really that much kind of togetherness of the club. But now that there is, I think a lot of people are really enjoying that, and a lot of people are sort of coming back. And we've created a Facebook page which one of the other members looks after, and on there we kind of advertise when the club nights are, and the club nights open to everybody. So it's, members come along and pay a couple of quid towards the lights, but anybody new can just come along and play for free. So we invite people from anywhere who sort of see that post to come in, have a knock, get to meet a few members, and maybe join on the back of that. We tried to almost build up a bit of momentum before we advertised it. We said, right, at 6 o'clock we're going to be releasing the sponsorship deal, so don't miss it, sort of thing, So we tried to sort of big it up a little bit, so there was a little bit of excitement going on the club WhatsApp group. And then when they went out at 6 on that night, they were like all gone by about 6:10. So people knew they were coming, and then as soon as they went, they were like, oh, I'll have bronze, I'll have this. So they were taken by either companies that people in the club work at, or people's siblings or relatives or something, and said, oh, there's some sponsorship going on, do you want to be in on it? And yeah, they all went really, really quick. So we had like gold, silver gone by about 6:05. It was brilliant.
So my name's Anna Adams. I actually grew up in Cowbridge, and I started playing here as a junior. Had coaching from a guy called Sheikh Ahmed, as most of us did around here. And then with my little ones, I wanted to get them playing, particularly my 9-year-old. And so Niall had been doing some coaching at the club for a while by himself, and I wanted to get involved, particularly so we could start with the younger juniors. Spoke to Niall and started helping him out, and then got my coaching certificate and set up a younger juniors section, so we have an under 11s group now. Well, I love playing squash, and I remember the kind of enjoying it as a kid, and I wanted to get my kids involved in playing. And with my daughter, the only juniors who were playing were kind of teenage boys, and I thought it's quite a big leap for a 9-year-old girl to be playing with teenage boys, so I wanted to set up something a little bit more age appropriate, so that she could get enjoying the game and not feel intimidated by playing with kind of older teenagers. The one thing I love about squash, one of the many things I love about squash, is that you can play as a kid and you can play as an adult, and it's really lovely to be able to kind of have that sort of multi-generational playing. And so I wanted to start something for the younger ones to be able to have them continue on. We sent out a couple of emails to some of the primary schools, particularly the primary school that my children attend, and we were really lucky that we got a lot of enthusiasm. We have 13 under 11s that have been playing since January, 12 of which are girls, which is just really nice. And so you've got this sort of, and I think we started off with about 8 or 9, and then word of mouth, we suddenly got actually more girls coming along. And I think that's been nice. So they're all around the same age, mostly little girls, like playing together, and it's been really nice. I think for me, I really want them just to enjoy the game. I want them to enjoy it, I want them to love it, and I want them to play for the rest of their lives. I think I want them to make sure that they respect their opponent and they have good sportsmanship, and they also know how to kind of cheer each other on appropriately. For juniors, I think that's one of the things. I also want them to be able to cope with losing and be good sports if they lose or win, and so that's something that we're going to work on quite a lot, I think.
The camaraderie, everybody mucks in. You know, we've got a huge range of people, of members of the club.
I think my favourite thing would be the people. They're very friendly, always wanting the best for you. The support and the atmosphere we get on league nights are fantastic. We may be a small club, but we do make a lot of noise.
I think it all comes down to the people and how welcoming the club is.
It's a really lovely, supportive club. I have played here, as I said, as a junior and then as an adult. We've got a really great active WhatsApp group which supports the teams, but also just anybody kind of wanting a game. People message in the WhatsApp group. We've got a box league going. It's been a really lovely, friendly, warm club, and you can always find someone to come and play with. So I just really enjoy being a member here.